Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive, fundamental tension in human nature. And we're going to do it by decoding an ancient text known as Surah 25, or Al-Furqan. We're going to see exactly how this text acts as a masterclass in building a structural framework for human consciousness, completely bypassing religious mysticism for grounded psychological reality.
But before we hit the text itself, let me ask you something. Why do we crave supernatural magic? I mean, really think about it for a second. Whenever we're looking for meaning or authority, we almost always seek out external drama. We want supernatural events, we want complex hierarchies, and we want specialized mediators to tell us what it all means. We instinctively recoil when the truth is presented as something simple, observable, and, well, completely ordinary.
And this brilliant text actually calls out that exact human quirk right off the bat. We literally demand angels, magic, and supernatural hierarchies, the whole spectacle. But what does the text actually provide? Well, in verse 7, it records the exact complaints of the critics. They say, "What's up with this messenger? He eats food and walks in the markets. Why hasn't an angel been sent down to him?" Traditional thinking simply cannot handle a profound principle delivered by an ordinary human doing something as mundane as grocery shopping. Our ego demands a show.
So, to move past this craving for illusion, we need a roadmap. Here's what we're covering. 1. The ultimate criterion. 2. The revelation myth. 3. Shadows and reality. 4. The 2 C's. And 5. Real-world output. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The ultimate criterion. Defining Al-Furqan.
So what actually is a Furqan? The title comes from the Arabic root FRQ, which literally means to separate or divide. It is the separator, the ultimate criterion. Now, this isn't just some historical book title. It's an incredibly powerful, universal cognitive tool designed to separate grounded truth from the man-made hierarchical systems we love to build. It slices reality away from projection. And the text explicitly states it's a standard sent down for the world, meaning it's a globally accessible lens for all conscious beings. No priestly mediator required.
Moving right along to Section 2, the revelation myth, structure versus delivery. There is this massive historical misconception that this text was just put together reactively over 23 years, made up on the fly in response to whatever was happening. But check out verse 32. The critics literally ask, why was the Quran not sent down upon him all at once? If the author was just making it up as they went along, that objection wouldn't even make sense. And the response is super revealing. Thus, so that we may strengthen your heart with it, and we have arranged it in a measured way.
What's absolutely crucial here is the distinction between construction and pedagogy. The text is confirming that it was, in fact, given entirely at once as a fully complete integrated data structure. That legendary 23-year timeline, that was purely a teaching methodology. It wasn't a period of composition. Think of it like a master teacher handing out a complete textbook, one chapter at a time, perfectly matching the developing capacity of the students. It means the text operates as a fully self-interpreting system, totally independent of external historical notes.
Okay, Section 3, shadows in reality, the universe as a metaphor. With that structural foundation out of the way, things get really fascinating. The text starts using the physical universe as a mirror for how we should yield to reality. Listen to this brilliant metaphor in verse 45. Do you not see toward your Lord how he extends the shadow? And if he willed, he could have made it stationary. Then we made the sun its guide. It's essentially telling us, hey, look at what's literally right in front of you. No abstract theology, just observable physics. A shadow extends and retracts strictly based on the location of the light source. The sun acts as its guide. And this is the ultimate cosmic template for yielding to reality. You see, natural forces don't have joints. They don't physically bow down. A shadow has no ego. It can't wake up one day and decide to rebel. It perfectly executes its parameters by automatically conforming to natural laws. The text is showing us that true submission isn't some ritualized physical posture. It's an egoless alignment with reality, just like a shadow effortlessly following the light. Next up, Section 4, the 2 C's, conscious separation. The framework smoothly shifts from the physics of light right into geography, mapping out the incredibly complex depths of human psychology. Verse 53 hits us with this striking visual. And he is the one who released the 2 C's. This one's sweet and fresh, and this one's salty and bitter, and he placed between them a barrier. Just picture that scale for a second. 2 massive bodies of water clashing together, but never actually mixing because of a hidden partition. So what is this actually describing? Well, it's you. You carry both seas within your own mind. That sweet, fresh, usable water, that's your conscious mind, your manifest awareness, traditionally termed ins. And the dark, salty, turbulent water, those are your hidden subconscious drives, the jinn. The point is, there's a functional barrier, a barzakh, right between them. When you practice protective mindfulness, you reinforce that barrier. You stop that subconscious chaos from bleeding over and polluting your conscious choices. It's basically an ancient masterclass in setting serious psychological boundaries. And finally, Section 5, Real-World Output, the Servants of the Merciful. Here is the million-dollar question. If you actually apply the psychological criterion, if you master your shadows and manage your 2Cs, what does your life look like in the real world? Well, the Surah skips the religious checklists entirely. No ceremonies here. Instead, it defines the servants of the merciful through highly practical behaviors. Walking humbly on the earth, that is profound ego-lowering. Refusing to get dragged into toxic tribal drama. Balanced spending, that's straight-up economic equilibrium and present-moment awareness applied to your wallet. Passing by vain talk with dignity, you're consciously filtering out toxic sensory data, essentially refusing to doomscroll. And being receptive to signs, that demands critical thinking over blind robotic compliance. The end product here is a grounded, emotionally intelligent, and radically conscious human being. Let's pull all these threads together. We've seen how these seemingly diverse metaphors, from textbook structures to shadows to oceans to personal finance, all unite into one masterclass on human consciousness. The complete architecture of the Criterion gives us a universal cognitive standard. It proves its own structured pedagogy. It uses the physical world to mirror psychological submission. It maps the internal boundaries of our minds. And to top it all off, it demands real, tangible behavioral balance right here in the present moment. Which brings us right back to our starting line. You can absolutely keep viewing the world through the lens of human tradition, demanding your external magic, waiting on some localized calendar to fix your spirituality, and obsessing over the mechanics of physical rituals. Or you can step into the freedom of the Criterion. So I'm going to leave you with this final ultimatum, straight from the text itself. Will you keep demanding illusions, or will you use this standard to master your own reality? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to start applying this separator in your own life today.